Hello everyone. If you love touching animal stories and want to follow the inspiring journey of these adorable friends, don't forget to hit the subscribe button now so you won't miss any of our videos. Now, let's dive into today's emotional story. Not all mothers have a voice, a home, or even a name, but their love speaks louder than words ever could. In the corners of our bustling cities, there are quiet stories we walk past every day. Stories of survival, sacrifice, and unspoken devotion. This is the story of a stray dog. Not just any stray, but a mother, a fighter, and a soul who carried more love in her fragile body than most of us will ever know. She had no collar, no shelter, but she had a mission to keep her unborn puppies alive. And for that, she gave everything. She was just a stray dog, but the mother dog carried within her a silent mission: to bring her unborn puppies into the world safely. Every day, the mother dog walked miles to the market, searching for scraps of food. When people bought fried chicken, the mother dog would quietly sit a few meters away and wait. Life on the streets hadn't robbed this brave canine of her grace or her respect for humans. A restaurant owner often noticed her but never let her in. "Business is tough," the woman would say. "We're barely making ends meet." But she promised that when things improved, she would treat the dog to some fried chicken. The mother dog watched longingly as a customer ate boiled eggs. Her eyes were filled with silent hope, not for herself, but for the little lives growing inside her. Even crumbs from the ground would be enough, but she knew they wouldn't be enough for her unborn children. So she moved on. Outside a shopping mall, the mother dog stood quietly by the entrance. The floors inside were spotless, so she never dared step in. People came and went, but no one spared her a glance. That's often the fate of strays, invisible, ignored. Still, whenever someone passed, she wagged her tail as if to say thank you, even when there was nothing to thank them for. Perhaps the dog understood that humans had their own struggles too. The mother dog waited from sunrise until late at night. Sometimes, she didn't get even a single leftover. Only when the streets were empty would the dog quietly return home. But what home? No one knew where she went at night or what kind of shelter she had. The next day, people tried to follow the mother dog to find out. But she disappeared, leaving no trace. Eventually, the restaurant owner shared what she knew. The dog came from far away. At first, the woman thought the dog had an owner. She was friendly, affectionate, and well-behaved. Not at all like a stray. But as the visits became more frequent, the truth became clear. The mother dog was begging for food. From then on, the woman began offering her dry food. Over time, she noticed the mother dog's belly growing. She was pregnant. She even started producing milk. The owner grew concerned. How could the mother dog give birth safely under such harsh conditions? The woman tried taking the dog in several times, but each night the mother dog would disappear, only to show up the next morning, waiting patiently at the door. This was her routine: risking the streets, seeking food, and returning to her hidden shelter. One day, a kind stranger gave her a sausage. Before he could even unwrap it, the mother dog gently took it in her mouth and ran off. It was clear, survival for a stray mother was no easy task. Many wondered, if the dog had help, why didn't she stay? Why choose this life of hardship? To understand, they placed a small camera on her collar and watched as the mother dog vanished into the night once again. The next morning, right on time, the mother dog returned. Watching the footage, they discovered something deeply moving. At night, she wandered endlessly, searching for food. At one point, she waited outside a stranger's house. The woman there gave her a small piece of cooked chicken. These small acts of kindness were her lifeline. Eventually, the camera revealed her hidden shelter, an abandoned factory far from town. A worker recognized her immediately. The dog hadn't always been a stray. Years ago, the factory owner had bought her to guard the building. But after it closed, the mother dog was left behind, forgotten. Later, the dog met another stray, a white dog named Tubak. He cared for her deeply. Whenever Tubak found food, he let her eat first. Their bond was beautiful. Together, they faced the hardships of stray life. But one day, Chubak didn't come back. Neighbors believed he had been caught by dog thieves. Since then, the mother dog was alone and pregnant. To feed her unborn puppies, she walked over 10 kilometers every day. Even so, the mother dog never stopped returning to the place they once shared, hoping that maybe, somehow, Chubak would return. She longed to share the joy of their puppies with him. When she finally gave birth, 6 healthy puppies, the mother dog did so deep in the woods, far from the city, where no one could hurt them. Yet, she would still travel into town daily to search for food, then return every few hours to nurse her young. Her strength, her love, her perseverance, all for her babies. Eventually, a kind woman began feeding her regularly. She hoped to adopt the dog, but the mother dog never stayed. She always had somewhere more important to be. Curious, rescuers followed her again, this time with a drone. They finally discovered the truth. Hidden deep in a quiet forest, her puppies were safe. 7 tiny, white, chubby pups. Clean, healthy, and well-fed. The mother dog had done it all on her own. But the forest was full of danger. The rescuers decided they had to act. Early the next morning, they set a humane trap. When the mother dog returned to town to search for food, she walked straight into the trap without hesitation. There was no resistance, no fear. It was as if she knew these people were there to help her. Later that day, the puppies were found and brought to safety. All 7 were healthy, but the mother dog, after months of wandering and hardship, was in poor condition. Malnourished, covered in fleas, and suffering from skin infections, she needed urgent care. Still, she had survived, because she had something worth living for. Even when her body was weak and tired, the mother dog kept going back and forth several times a day, just to feed her puppies. In the end, the kind woman adopted all 8 of them, the mother dog and her 7 pups. They had a real home now, a roof, warm meals, and people who loved them. Perhaps stray animals don't choose to wander. Perhaps they're just searching for food, for shelter, for kindness, and for love. And sometimes all it takes to save a life is one person who cares enough to stop. The mother dog never asked for much. Only a few crumbs, a kind glance, a safe place to rest. But in return, she gave the world an example of unconditional love. Through hunger, through pain, through loneliness, she kept going. Not for herself, but for her children, running miles with an empty stomach and a full heart. Thanks to the compassion of strangers, her story didn't end in silence. Her puppies now sleep soundly, wrapped in warmth and love. A new beginning, born from the struggle of a mother who never gave up. So if one day you see a stray dog looking at you with gentle eyes, remember, behind those eyes may lie a story of courage, of heartbreak, and of a love that never stopped running.